Welcome back. And something a little bit different, a detour from Bantam Cock along the back there. A boiler is tucked under the bench over there while we work on that. So me and Tom have acquired some wagons each from the estate of a past member. The guy had 40 odd wagons. I've acquired 6. So the first is this bogie, I'm going to call it bogie bolster. I can't find any references to anything similar, but if anyone knows what it is other than calling it a bogie bolster, feel free to let me know. All the bogie bolsters I can find by example have the stanchions, which this does not. This is like a 4-plank. So let's get into it. She needs a good clean, a good wipe over. But before we get into that, before I put it up on the bench, I have tipped out the rubbish that had collected in there over the years. So we're going to flip her over, check out the bogies. We know the wheel treads are rusty, but that's fine as long as the bearing's good. The rust will be fine on the treads. Right, so this is the sort of thing we're dealing with. So we're going to get the brush out. And, okay, so that's good news. Less so. That is quite substantially corroded on the wheels, isn't it? And those flanges are pretty thin, pretty non-existent actually. I doubt they're any kind of GL5 standard, to be honest. They are really quite thin flanges. Possibly even thinner than Bantam Cocks. They are thinner than Bantam Cocks. So, yeah, those bearings are dry as a bone. Oh, okay, not as seized as I thought. Right, I'm going to take this outside, brush this off properly. I don't know over the bench. Right, so this is now a lot cleaner. So I think the next game is to try and get some lubrication in here. And looking at it, these bogies come off quite easily, which will certainly make sorting them out easier without the body attached. Yeah, look at that. So we'll clean these off as well and get some oil on those. And while I've got this off, I might give this a proper clean over. But quite nice, they are all, you can't see this, but they're all sprung couplings, which are a bit stuck. Well, that one is. Right. we will come back to the body once we've sorted the bogies out. So let's lean this up somewhere. It's a lot lighter, funnily enough, without the bogie on it. Okay, so bogie from one end. It's got one wheel sort of tries to go. If anyone knows anything about the design of these, I'll be interested to know. But yeah, they all do move to some degree. They're dummies, quite nice. They're there at all. But the suspension all moves. That's a good start. It's a good start at least. Right, let's get some. Let's just get some oil in here. Let's see what we've got in the way of oiling points. It looks like we might go down the springs. So let's see what happens. Either way, this will be the first time these have had some oil in a very long time, so too much can't be a bad thing at this stage. And after all, they are on my bench. Let that sit for a little minute. Wipe off the excess off the outsides, because that's doing nothing but making a mess, which, as I say, it's on my bench, not a problem. There we go, let's save my bench. There we go, look at that. That's a lot better, isn't it? Look at that. Success number one. Let's leave that over there. And repeat the procedure. Let's scope it out to start. So that one's trying. This one's just as bad. Right. Give it a click. Now they're out, let's just really get in there with the brushes. That time I made sure it came out the back of the bit. So I'm guessing that's the one that was all right. Look at that, nice and free. See, bit of oil. And I've got oils on the wheels before anybody shouts at me. First time these have seen rails in many years. Many years. Right, let's shove this back a bit if we can. So you can see it. Right, so bogie number one. I'll declare that bogie functional. Number two. There is nothing wrong with those, is there now? Right, so these now roll free. Time to whack it back together and put it somewhere sensible. So let's stick this somewhere without knocking myself out. which is significantly lighter without the bogies on it. Right, while we're here, we'll give these a brush off. And because it can't hurt to... So these had oil in the bearings. But I'm actually going to put, can you see them both? Yes you can. I'm going to stick a blob of this red grease on the bogies. It is horrible stuff. Oh, close to the last bit of roll. That's right, if you can hear a sniggering behind the camera, Amy's in here with me. Apparently sniggering to herself at me talking to, but apparently just like talking to myself. I must admit, it does feel like I'm talking to myself, but never mind. Sometimes the only person that makes sense is yourself. Okay, let's stick a bit of grease on there. Not too much. Get some on the thread as well, because I mean it wasn't rusted. Don't know if they're stainless or not. The grease is a pretty good anti-rust. Right. So put that on there. Yep, that's picked up on the grease. Hear it clicking. And the same there. Start. There you go. Now you up finger tight. Up finger tight. There's still plenty of movement in them. Right, so we will put them back on the floor a minute. Try not to knock myself out again. Oh, I nearly got that first time, look at that. Right, let's move you. So I can just cut this off, I don't know if I talk over it. Right, so hopefully you can now see, courtesy of camera lady Amy, we have now a nice rolling wagon again. The bed is a bit grimy, to say the least, but I don't think that's a problem at the moment. So the only other thing to sort out on this are the buffers. Two do, two don't. But for now, we have a usable rolling wagon. So next time, we'll probably go for the box van and brake van, because there's obviously the equivalent amount of wheels to sort out there.